I am here with Lisa Bauer, Senior Vice President of Royal Caribbean International. Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Charlie.
Tell us a little bit of what is going on new with Royal Caribbean. You were just telling me about some growth going on, but of course this is going on all the time.
Sure. Well, there's lots going on with Royal Caribbean that's new. We now have 21 ships, and next May we'll be taking delivery of our 22nd ship, Independence of the Seas. And because we have all of these ships now, we're able to deploy them all over the world. So probably the biggest thing that's new is the amount of ships that we have going to exotic destinations. Next year we have 7 ships in Europe. We'll have 143 sailings, which is absolutely amazing, including a year-round ship in Europe now, Brilliance of the Seas. We have a ship dedicated to Asia now. We have 2 ships in South America, some really new exciting itineraries out of Panama and also Santo Domingo. So I think what we've really done is put the international and Royal Caribbean International in a big way.
Lisa, which demographic markets do these ships and sailings focus on?
Well, the demographics of the ships, it really depends on where they're sailing. So, for example, in the Caribbean, we see a lot of families, we see a lot of couples, a lot of multi-generational families. But when you get into the more exotic destinations like Australia, New Zealand, a lot of times it's more couples. So it really depends on the particular destination. But on average, we have a very young demographic that's on board our ship. Our average age that sails with Royal Caribbean is about 42. So
Americans let's break the question down this way. Americans, let's say middle age, like to go where, on which itineraries versus, say, over 50?
Well, it really depends in terms of the demographic, both in terms of Americans, because our Crown and Anchor guests that have been sailing with the brand forever, they love it when we open new destinations and they sail with us all over the world. And what we're really seeing now is a change in sourcing. So some of our ships in Europe might have 50% North Americans and 50% from Europe or rest of the world. So it all depends on the particular destination and how they're really sourced.
And the Independent, is that the new ship that's...
Our 3rd Freedom Class ship is Independence of the Seas, which is what you were referring to. And Independence will actually do her inaugural out of Southampton, and she'll be doing 14-night sailings all next summer and great itineraries. And then Independence sails over to Miami in November of 2008, and then she'll be doing the Caribbean for the winter.
Is Independence known for anything particular in terms of design, size?
Well, Independence is known for a number of things. She's the 3rd of our Freedom Class ships, and that's really where we pioneered the Flow Rider, the surf simulator on board. We've got a lot of specialty dining that's on board, and all 3 of those ships enjoy the designation as the largest ships in the world. So we basically say that the first one was freedom, and it's really freedom of choice. You can do anything and everything you want to do aboard one of those magnificent vessels.
We're at the trade show, the trade event for travel agents here in Las Vegas. To what degree are travel agents your distribution currently?
Travel agents are absolutely critical to our distribution. They source the overwhelming majority of our guests, and they do a great job really filling up our ships every single week. And at Royal Caribbean International, we have a very special relationship with the trade. We pioneered the Royal Recommends Travel Agents program, and we have put so many different programs in place that really drive loyalty between consumers and travel agents. So we're very happy to be here at the trade show.
Coming in from the airport, we saw one of your advertisement on top of one of the taxi cabs, and in big lettering it said, "Contact your travel agent."
Yes. Actually, when you do come in and you land at the airport, we have several banners that basically say, don't gamble with your next cruise vacation, call a professional travel agent. So we had a little bit of fun with the destination, but what we often try to do is put consumer messaging, really reinforcing call a professional travel agent. We have a number of ads that were designed specifically to highlight the importance of working with a travel agent, such as one of my favorites is, my wife is seeing a travel agent and I couldn't be happier, call your professional travel agent. So we think it's great consumer messaging, and I think it's really resonated with both consumers and travel agents.
How do you make sure travel agents are knowledgeable about the product, not only for Royal Caribbean, but the cruise industry in general?
We think it's really important that travel agents be knowledgeable and well-trained. And to do that, we have, I think, the largest training organization out of any cruise line that's really dedicated to continuing education, product knowledge. We just launched something that's called the University of Wow, which is an online training program that has 3 different levels. So you can be a specialist, and you can work you can start as an apprentice, work your way up to a specialist, and then become an expert. We have our largest sales organization out there that every day is working with travel agents on training. We do seminars at sea. We do WebEx presentation. So we're really very focused on making sure agents are very confident selling our brand.
What percentage of the trade would you say now are trained and knowledgeable to be able to market cruises to the public?
Well, in terms of what percent of the agents are really trained, I can certainly go off statistics off the University of Wow. We launched that program in second quarter, and we already have over 17,500 agents that have enrolled in the online training program, and over half of those have already reached their expert level designation. And it's a very intense program, and it's everything from a brand overview to learning how to use sales and marketing tools, to knowing where the ships are deployed, to knowing various policies associated with the cruise line. So I really congratulate agents on adopting and taking advantage of all the tools that we're putting out there to really help them be much more educated.
How are home-based agents performing as a distribution outlet?
Home-based agents actually do an incredible job for our brand. They have the highest APD out of any of the channels that are out there. They do an excellent job selling affinity groups that they work with in their local communities. And really what we hear from the home-based agents that could help them be more successful is really around communication and training. So we've had to put a lot of focus around what are those different programs that we need to put in place, because when you're at home, it's completely different than our ability to walk into an office and talk to a bunch of people at one time. So we actually were the first brand in the industry several years ago to create a channel manager position for home-based to look at the overall needs of the channel. We launched a home-based portal that's right on Cruising Power, completely dedicated to the home-based channel. And so we want to make sure that their unique needs that they have are being met by our brand.
What is APD?
APD is average per diem, or the average selling price. So for example, if we got $1 on average, we would get higher than that from the home-based channel.
Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome, Charlie. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.